Okay, here is the third video for how you make kombucha. Now, I just showed you how it is in my closet there and if it's on top of your refrigerator, but let's say the day comes, like let's just pretend that today is the 26th of March and this kombucha right here that I showed you before on the 19th is all ready to be bottled up. As a matter of fact, if this is the 26th, the kombucha that's in here right now is definitely drinkable and it's really good. It's very similar to just like if you've had Synergy Original. It would taste like that except it wouldn't have any fizziness. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to grab the SCOBY and you're going to pull it out and you're going to put it in a Corningware like this or wherever you're storing it. And, you know, leave it at room temperature. If you're going to be using it within, I don't know, if you're going to use it within a week to 10 days, you can leave it at room temperature. If you're going for like maybe longer, in 7, 8, 9 days, you want to like refrigerate it. But anyway, these things can sit out for, we've been leaving them out maybe for about 5 to 7, maybe 9 days. Anyway, we pull that out and then we're just going to have this jar full of original kombucha. It is not fizzy at this point at all. And then sometimes my husband, I don't really like the original non-fizzy kind. That's just not my thing, but he likes it. So we'll kind of save some of that for him and put it in a glass jar and keep it in the fridge for him. And then we save some of it also to put in with the SCOBY that's being stored because it needs to have something there. And then the rest of it we take over to the brewing section, which I'm just going to put right here. And we've been using just Synergy bottles. Sometimes we'll get some Synergy at the store or whatever. And we also have a woman who lives with us who drinks it. She donates her bottles to our cause here. And then we have juice that we mix with the kombucha. So what happens is, what we start with is, well, let me just say that in the beginning, and you can experiment with this, it's just I wasn't successful with it, but we were using, like, we started in the summer and we were putting things like pieces of ginger and strawberries and blueberries in there, and it was, we just didn't perfect it, and actually we're pretty time pressed, so we started just using juices and things like that, and these work awesome for us. And you know, my friend Vicky has used a little bit of fruit with success, so definitely this is where you get really creative, so try what you want to try, but this is what we do. So these are the ones we've been using lately. This is like a Open Nature mango nectar that we get in Safeway. Man, this stuff is so sweet. I would never drink this normally, 30 grams of sugar per serving, 8 ounces, but when it's made into kombucha, it's not like that anymore. Blueberry nectar, organic Nutsens, 27 grams of sugar. We use apricot nectar, something we've been using. This is a new one for us within the last week. And then in Whole Foods in Denver, I get this peach cider. It's some kind of local Front Range kind of producer. And then we also have this ginger juice, and we bought a case of this, and if anybody wants to go in on it and get a bottle or two, it's just kind of nice, you know. It's plain ginger juice, totally natural. Organic juice and citric acid is all that's in there. And so what we do is we fill up this measuring cup right here, which, gosh, I don't know if I can get the measurements, but we fill it up with 2/3 of a cup of juice. So the juice will be filled up to the 2/3 cup line, and then we will pour it into the Synergy bottle right here. So let's see. Let me just show you here. I forgot to grab one thing. You have to bear with the shaky video. But we use a funnel. And so right here, we take the funnel, 2/3 of a cup of juice, poured into the bottle like that. And so you'd have your juice down here in the bottom. And you can put a few dashes of ginger juice in there. So we'll make like a mango nectar ginger kombucha, and we'll just put a half teaspoon or whatever of the ginger juice in with the mango. And then we just pour the plain kombucha and fill it up pretty much through the, you know, through this. But you know what we also do? I want to add this in, don't want to forget. We take that strainer for the second part, and we go like that, because part of the culture comes off and some of that icky stuff will come off, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's just kind of nice if you just use this mesh and pour, you know, you don't need to do it for the juice because the juice is pretty clear, but when you're going to pour the kombucha in with the juice, what we do is we hold it up just above. It's kind of, Tom and I help each other, but I've done it on my own too, and pour the plain kombucha until it's full right to the top. You want it to be full right to the top. And then we bottle it. Cap it, and we have found that capping it tightly is really helpful. If you want fizzy kombucha, if you don't care, it doesn't matter. But if you want fizzy kombucha, you want to cap that tightly. And then the last step is we have a little Sharpie marker and not duct tape, whatever you call it, masking tape, and we put the date. If today's 3/26, we put 3/26, stick it on the bottle. That's way we know. And then we put these into our dark area also, or on top of the fridge or whatever, covered up. We don't have to cover them up because we have them in a dark closet. You saw my closet. And they sit there for another 7 days. So if it was the 26th that I was doing the second bottling here, you know, or the second brewing, I'm sorry, the first brew is the big jar, and then putting into individual bottles after a week into here. And so the 26th, a week later, would be like April 2nd. And then these would be ready to enjoy on April 2nd. Interestingly enough, we put our caps on so tight that we have actually had to use a wrench sometimes to get them open. We just have a wrench out on our counter. I don't know. You know, this is still a work in progress for us. We're not perfect with this either. But that's just the recipe that has worked for us. We make a combination of blueberry ginger, peach ginger, mango ginger. We also just make plain peach. Trying to think of other ones we've made. We've tried like strawberries and ginger, like I said, and I know people can do it. Ours just came out tasting really bitter, kind of like beer. I just didn't want to mess with that anymore. So let me see. I'm just trying to think if there's any other things that you would need to know. Again, if you want to have fizzy kombucha, you have to do the second brew, and I think you're going to have to add flavors to it, because when you add, see what happens is after you take that kombucha out of the jar and the SCOBY's no longer in there, there's still some culture. It's culture, you know, kombucha is cultured. So when you add juice into the individual bottles, that kombucha will be able to consume that juice and be able to create even more of a fizzy, integrated like kombucha, kind of like the stuff you get if you get Synergy at the store or whatever. So if I think of anything else, I'll make a little fourth quick video with final tips. But so far, I think this should be a pretty good start for you. Again, if you have any questions, and feel free to message me. Okay, thanks.